The newsletter is the concept of accidental success. The
Mhm.
book is the accidental solopreneur. My own story is I fell into that. So how do I really tie this all together effectively so that when somebody lands on my socials, they land on my website, it clicks, oh, this is all about,
Yep.
he's all about the accidental success guy.
So I'm going to answer this question with a bunch of different questions because we could honestly spend like 8 weeks figuring out this brand, right? So instead of that, to condense it, I'm going to throw out a bunch of things for you to think about.
Yeah.
And I want to say this with, I know we've talked or had some exchanges on Twitter before. Do you think there's a brand here and I like it? So some of what I'm going to say might seem not negative. I'm questioning it, but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
that I don't think it's good. I'm punching in it to figure out like, okay,
No
test
worries.
it, I guess.
I got thick
Pressure
skin,
test it
right? I'm a
ever. Right.
solopreneur.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing I would think about, I approach this like, okay, if I were you, how would I figure this out? And the first thing I would be thinking is accidental success really a thing? And is it aspiration? It doesn't matter if it is or isn't. It matters how are you going to weave the story that it is. There is no definitive answer, but I think it's important that if you're building around this brand, that the accidental solopreneur, happy accidents, that accidental success is a thing, or that accidents are a part of any success story, then thinking through how do I make that case? Again, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's true or not. You just have to be able to make, there is no definitive true.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
have to be able to make a case for it that will
Yeah.
resonate with some people. So as I start thinking about that, then I start thinking about could you take a stance, for example, that all success is an accident, but the key is to position yourself to be ready to take advantage of those accidents. So you can see how you're starting to weave a narrative that people
Yeah.
can buy into or not, which is also fine because a great brand is not for everyone, it's for someone. You're starting to draw a line in the sand and it's starting to become actionable. You're not
Yeah.
just going like, sometimes you just fall into stuff and that's great. And come
Yeah.
follow me so you'll find out maybe something will fall in, right?
Yeah.
You're saying, no, your accidents are going to happen.
Yeah.
They happen in every success story. But the ones that actually lead to success are the people that have been prepared because they did X, Y, and Z. They had a certain approach to life, whatever it is that you come up with
Yeah.
that lets them do it. So the action note, I'll show you how to prepare yourself to turn those accidents into success as opposed to whatever. So now it's starting to get more actionable.
Yeah.
So then along those lines, the next thing I would think about, is there a turning point or a moment where the accident can go one way or another? So you're now this narrative is you're saying to people, look, there's going to be, however you define accident, there's going to be accidents all throughout your life. And when it happens, it's always a turning point and it's going to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Something's going to get better or worse. It's not going to stay the same because
Yeah.
of this accident. And part of what I'm going to help you do is figure out how to both prepare. And in the moment, there may even be like a pre, present, and post piece of this, of the accident, but
Yeah.
building up that concept that like these accidents are these key turning point moments. Now, what becomes interesting is you're starting to again go further down elaborating on this. And now you're figuring out, okay, so there's these key turning point moments. Now, can I start incorporating this concept into all these stories I'm telling? So now when you tell the happy accident story about M&Ms or whatever it is, you're making a point to highlight, I'm saying turning point, but it's whatever language you come
Yeah.
up with.
Yeah.
This was the turning point moment. This is where it was going to go good or bad. And it went good because of X, Y, and Z, which is all the things that I teach, whatever. Now you can see how those stories are becoming more aligned to your sort of
Yes.
overall thing. We're
Yeah.
starting to build this brand. You can see how people would be like, oh, I totally buy into that.